Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel. It's your first time seeing my face. My name's Aisha and yes, we are here shooting another episode of Tea Time with Aisha. I really appreciate all the love that you guys gave us on our last episode. So thankful, and I will continue to do this. Of course, I came with a banger, another banger, okay? Our guest today is someone who I look up to. She inspires me. I tell her this all the time, and I think you guys will take a lot away from this conversation. So without further ado, let me introduce you guys to my friend, Seun. Hey.
Hey.
You know, show which camera to look at. So you're going to be looking at that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like...
She's like, where do we go? But hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
The day was... We're here.
Guys, she came from work to be here. So, like, she got off work and then she came here. And she was really far away from me. So, thank you so much for coming. I really, really appreciate it. You don't even understand. This means so much to me. When I was putting together the list of people that I wanted to interview, I was like, nah, this is a topic I want to touch on. And to me, there's no better person to have do this than you. I tell you this all the time. Every time I talk to you, what do I tell you? Like, you literally inspire me. I think that you...
Thank you.
No, honestly, like, I'm not even trying to gas your head. I think it's really nice to have people in your circle that, you know, kind of inspire you to do better, right?
Yeah.
And work hard, because that's one thing about this girl. She's so diligent. So before I start rambling and just singing your praises, let's take it all the way back, right?
Okay.
So you're a lawyer. Well, you're an attorney, right?
Yeah.
So talk me through that. How did you decide that that's what you wanted to do with your life?
Yeah, so, well, first, thanks for having me on here. And again, every time you tell me I inspire you, you do as well. You've literally been saying that for a really long time.
Stop. Let's keep this on you, babe.
I know, but I really appreciate it. But yes, to answer your question, so I was going into my last year of undergrad at University of Maryland. It was 2017, and I just knew that, for context, I'm a firstborn Nigerian daughter. So just throwing that out there. You already know.
No, that's literally one thing that we have in common. And I think that's another reason why we kind of relate to each other. Because it's like being a firstborn Nigerian Yoruba daughter.
Yeah.
Because not just Yoruba specifically,
Yeah.
there's a lot of weight that comes with that title and that position. So
Yeah. So I was my last year of undergrad, and I was like, okay, I do not want to be a medical doctor. Like, I didn't like the classes. I just was not in a space where I felt like I was thriving. I wasn't getting the best grades, and I know I'm intelligent, but it just wasn't for me. And one thing that was what was the game changer was when I really sat down and asked, okay, are you ready to make the sacrifice that comes with being a medical doctor? A lot of medical doctors in, I guess, our previous generation, the ones I looked up to, a lot of them weren't married, they didn't have children, or they focused on that after, like, residency, fellowship. You had your one or two that did it in medical school, but and residency, but it was uncommon.
Right.
That's completely opposite of what we are doing in our generation, but I was only looking up to what I had, and based on that prototype, I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And so I went back to the drawing board. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, and so I just kind of was on Google talking to people, and I was like, okay, well, what is the best option that gives me the most options? And that was being an attorney.
Right.
And I didn't even know what I was signing up for, because there are a plethora of career options with that accompanies being an attorney. But that's pretty much what made me make the decision.
So this wasn't like a lifelong dream. Like, you were like, no, I've always wanted to be a lawyer. This is a decision you made
very late. This was, going into my 7th semester of undergrad. So, that's the end.
Right. So what's crazy is that I have a very similar story, actually.
Yeah.
When I was leaving high school, I was very much, I want to be a doctor. I was watching Grey's Anatomy. The person I was involved with at the time, he and his sister wanted to be a doctor, and that's something that we really bonded over, because we are all in the same county. And his mom and dad were both doctors, so it was like, it just made sense. Okay, let's all be doctors together. Do you get it? And I really fell into that. My mom sat me down after my first semester, not because of bad grades or anything like that, no. But because at that time I started my podcast on Giddy Lounge. I don't know if you guys know what Giddy Lounge is.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's a throwback.
That's a throwback. The OGs know.
Yeah.
I started my podcast on Giddy Lounge called The Gist, and it was something. I'm gonna tell you something right now. It was something, okay? I had people calling in from Nigeria, people calling in from Canada, people obviously in the States, and I was like, whoa. And my mom obviously would see me be so passionate about it, see the conversations we were having, see the response we were getting online, and she sat me down, basically how you sat yourself down, and she was like, okay, let's talk, let's keep it real right now. This isn't you. I don't see you being happy in this field. Let's go back to the drawing board and figure it out. And that for me at the time was a bit discouraging because it felt like she was saying I couldn't do it, and I don't need anybody to believe in me, but it's nice for my mom to believe in me. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
And, I just took a little bit more maturing to understand that's not what she's saying.
Yeah.
So that's my mom, and she knows who I am. So I guess circling it back to you, in that moment, did you feel a bit discouraged about having to switch lanes so late?
No.
Or, okay, that's beautiful. That's good.
Yeah, and I felt like I had, like, a divine encounter because I went to get my nails done after I already made that decision, and what really solidified it, I didn't pray for a sign, but I obviously got one.
Right.
So I went to a nail salon to get my nails done, and I sat next to a woman, and like she was what I want to be when I'm 50. Like polished, nice handbag. Like you can tell she's older, but she looks so young. And so we got to talking, and she was like, "Oh, you're so eloquent. You should think about going to law school. Like all three of my sons." This is a black woman, black middle-aged woman, and so she's telling me like all three of her children are in law school. Her last one was, finishing up in Connecticut or something like that. I don't know. But long story short, she was just like, I don't see you being a doctor. I think you should be an attorney. And I'm like, This is someone that doesn't know me from Adam.
She's telling you that.
Yes. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, I've actually been wrestling with myself to even like considering law school. And like I was like, this is a divine encounter. So I took that as a sign.
I wouldn't have even like you just fit that archetype, like she said, because like I don't actually see you as a doctor either. Like,
neither do I. Don't know.
This just makes so much more sense, and like you fit into that lane like just so perfectly well.
Yeah, it's a great match. I'm happy and I love it.
I'm so happy that you're able to make that switch, and it was a good easy transition, because I know that that's something that a lot of people kind of struggle with, figuring out what they want to do. Like not that many people go into college knowing, oh, this is who I want to be, this is what I want to do. And if you do, that's good. You're good. Lucky, right? But this just shows you can get there, start off with one thing and switch. At the end of the day, there's no one right way to go about it. You keep doing it and figure out what works for you, because it's your life, right? Like that's another thing. It's your life. Nobody's gonna live it for you. Okay, in 10 years, your parents are not gonna be worried about that degree, baby. Like you're the one who has to live with it and what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into this conversation, because I know this is going to be a deep one, let us get into the tea really quick. Guys, I tried something a little bit more different today. I want to be adventurous. We're doing pineapple ginger. And I feel like that sounds like a very odd combination. But I haven't had a miss so far, so we're going to try it. We're going to try it. Okay.
Smells good.
It does smell good. Okay. It's different.
It's good. No, I like
it. I like it.
Yeah,
like it.
It's not bad. I'm actually a fan of ginger, so it's really healthy.
Yeah, ginger is so good. Yeah. You guys know, I tell you this on every episode.
It's very, very healthy, so
ginger tea will do it for me every single time. Try ginger milk honey tea with dates. I don't know if you like dates, but like that combination together.
Yeah.
Is just, it's bomb. It's like my fave. So try it and let me know. I actually want feedback.
Okay.
Try it. So
yeah, I'll try it. My mom also likes ginger, so I'll have to recommend it to her.
Is that a Nigerian thing?
I don't know. That's kind of recent. She's on this health journey, and it's worked. Like,
because your mom looks amazing. So yeah,
she puts the work in.
And so, while we're talking about your mom, do you feel like, okay, when you decided that you were going to switch, did you have any fears about what your parents would say, what that would look like over there? Because, of course, you're here because your parents live in a different state.
In a different state, yes.
Right. You're here and you're kind of making these life-changing decisions on your own. You're maneuvering through uni by yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course, you talk to your parents, but at this point, what was that looking like for you?
Yeah, so obviously I was nervous. Like, being in that situation, I'm the first child. I'm pushing against the grain. It was nerve-wracking.
Right.
But I don't think I was as nervous as compared to other times because we've had conversations. So I started off with hard bio. Then I was like, oh, like I want to go to public health. So I'd already even like, you know, I was already, like I wasn't too serious. But yeah, so I was shaking. So, you know, when I talked to my mom about it, I was telling her, I was like, hey, like, you know, I really want to do law school. And because Mutin lots of joy, she was like, yeah, like, you know, that's great. Yeah. But, like, are you actually, like, a serious somebody? Like, are you going to... And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good. I'm
Your
good.
mom strikes me as somebody that keeps it real. Like,
oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So she was, you know, she was just like, okay, like, you know, try it. But, you know, like, you're going to really have to study. I don't really know you as a studier. And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And so that was what. So I was okay talking to them.
I think that what really helps is having a really strong support system, right? Because I feel like there's some people that may not be so confident to make that shift when they know that back home it's not giving us.
But it wasn't a smooth. You know, they were supportive. It was more so like do with what, like do figure it out. Yeah, like
okay. As long as you get it done.
Yeah, I had worn them down so much. Not saying I was like a bad child, but I had worn them down. And so they were just like, all right, like, we don't know what you want to do. You know, you'll be all right. So I think they just had to, like, the situation forced them to trust my judgment. And now they love my lifestyle.
I love
like,
that.
yeah, they don't complain at all.
Beautiful. Well, you guys, we give you a little gist session about how we met.
Sure.
So, okay, do you want to tell it or do you want me to?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so basically, I don't remember the exact moment, but obviously follow people on Instagram as we do. We live in the same state. It makes sense. We're both Nigerian, both Yoruba. So I was like, another Yoruba baby.
Yeah.
Follow each other on Instagram. I see her. She is so stunning. And I'm like, I like the way this one package herself, you know. Well, obviously, like, I don't just make friends off of social media just to make friends off of social media. Like, it was just a mutual, right?
It was just a mutual, yep.
And then, so, at the time, she's married. I don't know if I mentioned that. She's married. We're going to get to that. But our boyfriends at the time were in the same frat, right? And so, you know. And so we meet.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it was like an automatic, like, I liked you. I like
agree.
This girl. Yeah.
I agree.
I was like, okay, I can mesh well with her. She's nice. She's smart. I love smart people. I'm like, she's so smart. And I'm like, oh my God, just look at her and all. Like, okay, teach me, tell me.
That's funny. I wasn't much back then.
No, stop. Shale, I swear, you always wear it on yourself. Why?
I mean, I was just...
I feel like you've always carried yourself in this very... I don't know if it's the Yoruba in you, but you've always carried yourself in this very, like...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Way.
I give like an auntie vibe.
Okay,
not like a bad
auntie, like, but yeah, like established, like, okay,
established,
put together.
Even my peers, like, they always like refer to me like like not like, you get what I'm saying? So I've always
give that vibe.
It's always been that.
Do you think that maybe it's because you're also firstborn that kind of plays into how you carry yourself and just how you
probably
people?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So let's talk about your college life a little bit because
sure,
this is my segue. College life a little bit. So as I stated, you are married and she also has a kid. And guys, she looks bomb. She also has a kid. So how did you meet your husband?
Yeah. So I met my husband. I met him through my line sister, who is best friends with his line brother. So we're in fraternities and sorority, and you know, he was on Instagram checking me out. We've been DMing for a while, of course, mutual follower. So take your DM seriously.
Guys, she's literally giving you the playbook on how to secure us back. Like, how to secure us back. Lisa, where's my notebook? I've been jotting down.
There are multiple ways, but I feel like Instagram has been more...
Right.
Like, a lot of people are like, oh, she slid in my DMs, I slid in her DMs, or we met on Hinge, Tinder. Like, it's becoming more... That's a society, like
that's where we
generational
are now.
thing.
Yeah,
yes.
That's where we are now. And it's okay. It's still cute.
It's still
like,
nice.
what?
Like, yeah, we met on Instagram. We started the DMs. But anyways, so... he I guess expressed interest to his line brother, and the line brother was like, oh, like, mind you, Benga's really shy. Yeah. So he expressed interest, and the line brother runs Keleka to my line sister. He's like, oh, so and so about so and so, and it's like, oh, okay. So my sister tells me, and I'm like, this can't be the same Benga that's been DMing me. Like, we casual conversation, nothing like...
You weren't thinking much to it.
No, like, I mean, yeah, nothing. I didn't think he was interested in me. So, I hit him up. I went to Miami, he DM'd me, and I was like, what's up with this that I'm hearing about you're interested in me and you haven't said anything?
That's so direct.
I'm a very direct person.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I'm like, and he was like playing dumb, and I'm like, oh, I really got you, and I'm really gonna make sure that you admit to this. So he's like, oh no, I don't know. And so he's like, and so we were playing with, like, we were having like so many play on words, and he's like, oh, like, you know, why did you think I was, like, you know, reaching out? Like, why did you think I was, you know, like,
DMing
yeah.
you.
And I'm like, no. Like, this is not normal conversation. You were setting yourself up. And so he's like, oh, you know, I don't know. But I was just saying a lot of witty stuff. And long story short, he was like, oh, you know, I don't know. I think I said something about, like, oh, this is what fam is for, because, you know, everybody knows AKAs and alphas, they go together. And I was like, you know, just, you know, trying to be family oriented and point you in the right direction. And then he's like, oh, what direction is that? And I just said the correct one. And so that's how we ended up. And then he finally was like, okay, jig is up. Like,
wait, that is too cute.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've actually never heard this story before.
I know. I don't like telling
too
it.
Cute.
But,
oh my God, I love it. And now here you guys are, how many years later?
It's going on 6.
Oh my God, that's crazy, because it feels like just yesterday.
I know, time is passing, because I met him when I was 21 and I'm about to turn 27, so yeah.
You just putting your age out there, girl. You letting people know, yeah, this is what 27 looks like, okay?
No,
married, attorney, and with a kid. Don't play with her. Is it your bud? She's working for you, love.
Don't play with it, though.
Okay, so you met him while you were still in undergrad.
Yeah.
And, okay, I kind of want to talk to how you balance that. Because, I don't know, some people say...
I didn't. I was not focused. I'll be honest with myself, and I think I can, now that I'm at the destination I'm supposed to be at, I can honestly say I was a good student, average student. I was not the type of student that was in law school, but, like, I definitely did not do well on my LSAT because I was always around boyfriend, like, and so I kind of derailed myself because I was focused on him, you know, like, just hanging out. It, like, love bombed each other. Like, it was great. It was, like, high on life. But, yeah, I didn't really, and I was a student athlete at Maryland, so, like, it was really, like, student athlete, school, boyfriend. I didn't really prioritize, you know, the LSAT like I should have. So, you know, I just did the pivot, which is nothing wrong with a pivot in life. You just switch directions and you get to make sure you're, you know, on the way to your destination. Yeah. So I went to grad school, took the LSAT again, then got into law school, and then, you know, so I didn't really balance it. I didn't really start taking, like, my education seriously until, like, grad school, finished well there, and then, like, law school, like, I really wanted to graduate with honors. Bless you.
Thank you.
Really wanted to graduate with honors, and so I made sure that, like, I was really, like, on it.
Wow. So, you know what? And this is why I love bringing people on that I feel like are relatable, but real, but are also successful, right? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody's taking advice from somebody that they wouldn't trade places with. And so this is to show you that there are so many different steps to getting to where you are, and there's not one straight line to get there.
No.
You just have to keep going.
One foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Oh my God. So, okay. You said that you didn't really prioritize. So if you could go back in time, or if you could talk to someone who's in your position now, or was in that position, what would you tell them? Give them, like, 3 good key pieces of advice.
Stay focused. Don't have people around you that are not... If they don't fit into the picture or the way you pictured your life, don't have them there. Whether that's a boyfriend, a friend, stay focused, have people, and just accept the pivots, the opportunities to pivot that life gives you. Like, sometimes things don't go our way. That's fine. You gotta accept it with grace, and make sure that it still fits in. Somehow you weave it into your destination.
Right.
You know.
Because like I said, there's not one straight path.
There's not one straight
You just have
path.
to figure it out. And I think that that's a lot of people's problem, is that once they hit or reach
discouraged.
you know what I mean? They get to a hurdle and they don't know how to get over it, right?
Yeah.
And they just get stuck there. And they wallow in self-pity. I hate somebody who's self-deprecating that. Like, that is a big pet peeve of mine.
I mean, yeah, I don't like it. I don't self-pity for too long.
Too long. Of course, it's okay to, like...
No, I abnormally, like... I feel like I'm on the spectrum, like, where I just don't do it too much, like, at all. It's really rare for me to be seeing... Like, I'm usually very solution-oriented.
But I think that's how you should be, realistically. Of course, be in tune with your emotions, right?
Right.
But at the same time...
Yeah.
Get to it.
Yeah, and that's just what it is. You can't waste too much time wallowing, whether it's another guy, men are like buses, another one will come. Yeah. Like, you know, that's just what it is. And you really have to have a mindset where you're focused on your destination, what you want. Because if you're not, and you're wasting your time wallowing, you're missing out on opportunities, whether that be a new job, a new man, a new endeavor, like a new opportunity. You're not able to fully accept it and receive it with open arms because you're still upset about what didn't go well, and it's like, bro, that's gone. You have to move on. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I think that's really good advice. And then, you know, kind of going on with that, you know, you were speaking about people in your life, right? So, and I think that you do have a really good solid set of people that you have now. So how would you, what's the criteria to be Seun's friend? What's the criteria to have this people? Because you know there's tiers of friendship too, right? There's like your close circle, there's like a second level, and then, you know, acquaintance and all that. So
I actually don't have that.
Okay.
If you're my friend, you're my friend.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I don't have that.
A lot of, okay, so would you say you have a lot of friends then?
I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I would say that. And I feel like I don't like the way that sounds because it's like I'm not very mixy.
You're definitely also,
not. Yeah, I'm not mixy, but I'm also in a stage in my life where I'm not talking to every single friend every single day. So I've picked up so many people along the way that it's like, okay, you guys are all my friends, but like I talk to different people. I pour into different people at different times.
Right.
So criteria to be my friend: honest, straight to the point. Respectful. So one thing about me, I like to argue, and not even I like to argue. I'm always welcoming of differing opinions.
Right.
And so I cannot have somebody around me that cannot explore. Like, it's okay for you to focus on what be okay with what you like.
Right.
But you should be able to analyze and hear and discuss the other
people's opinions. And
a lot. Like, I can do that with my friends. I don't get into a lot of I don't there are my friends, I don't get into arguments with them. They're just very respectful. Like, we get through we have conflict, but like we just resolve it so respectfully. So I think that's like the number one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird. Why you argue with your friend?
Well, no, people do it, and like, I mean, you know,
I don't know. People that I argue with that were like friends, oh, you gotta go, because it's never that deep to now we're arguing, right? Like, we just need to be respectful for each other, and I think that's like the base. Yeah. Like, just having respect. Because we can disagree, but respectfully disagree, right? That's it. And like, just keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm your friend, Shaz. So yeah. We did it. Okay, so kind of moving now from, you were at Maryland, and then you moved on to do your undergrad. Where did you do your undergrad?
Or grad school. Yeah.
So you did it at Georgetown. So moving from, I guess, reanalyzing where you were and now going into this next chapter because, you know, things didn't work out the way you wanted them to. What was that journey like for you to re-strategize?
I mean, again, I focused on my end goal, and I was like, okay, this is getting me to where I want to go, which ended up being a really good degree to pursue, because I feel like, you know, names, they don't matter, but it's Georgetown. Like, it's nice. Georgetown. Yeah. Okay. And then I was actually exposed to the substantive area of law that I actually work in now. So, and I didn't know that God was doing that for me. I attended a lot of regulatory proceedings. I just familiarized myself with that stuff because I was in that program. So that was great. And yeah, I was just accepting of it. So I was working part-time at a government agency, and then I was pursuing grad school, and then I, of course, had Benga. He's always there. He's always there. But, yes. So
Oh, you guys are so cute. The way when you say his name and you like start blushing is like the most beautiful.
Yeah, because it's literally like always there, like
that.
not missing, never missing in action. But anyways, yeah. So I just took it. I was like, okay, I'm pursuing another degree. We're Nigerian, Yoruba. It's prestigious.
Yeah.
I was very welcoming of it.
Yeah, that's good.
So I was not very discouraged.
So when it comes to mentorship, because I think that that's something that you've definitely spoken to on your Instagram stories, like mentors and stuff like that. I don't want to say criteria, but how do you come upon them? Because I know that for me, and even for my younger siblings, right, talk about like finding mentors all the time. How do you get yourself aligned with those people? How do you know which is a good mentor, who's not? How do you even proceed with your mentors? And then also being having a mentee, right? Because I know you have one as well.
Yeah.
So like that's like a lot of
mentee,
balancing to go.
Being a mentor. Okay, so being a mentor, what do I search for? So it all starts with a question. I personally hate, oh my God, I sound like one of those lawyers, like, or attorneys. I personally hate when people are like, oh, can you be my mentor? Like, what does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, start with asking a question. Of course, criteria for seeking a mentor. Obviously, this person is where you want to be or has something that you are very interested in pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
Ask a question. I feel like the more people familiarize themselves with that said person, the relationship kind of organically forms.
Okay.
So, like, asking somebody straight up, oh, will you be my mentor? Like, don't do that. Quickest way to not be mentored. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just, and you always see on my Instagram, I'm always welcoming to pre-law students.
Yeah.
And just ask a question. Don't be shy. Like when you're shy, you literally miss all the opportunities. You miss all the shots you don't take. You need to shoot your shot. The worst somebody can tell you is no. And most times people like sharing knowledge because they like talking about themselves. Like it's easy. Like, so I don't gotta put you on game, But yeah, so mentee, I think if you're asking someone that is more arbitrarily successful than you're as a mentee are gonna have the burden of maintaining that relationship. This person is more busy and they are doing the things that you want to do. So you're going to have to, of course it's a two-way street, but you're likely going to have to earn that person's buy-in. So it's like maybe this person hits me up or the mentee hits the mentor up like 3 to 5 times. Mentor is like, oh, okay, you're kind of serious. So if I see something that Sade wants or Sade is interested in, I'm going to want to pass the opportunity to Sade because she has shown that she is very interested in this relationship and she's very interested and serious in the opportunities that she's trying to pursue. Yes. So I would say those are the criteria. Mentor, bless you. Sorry. Mentor. If you're trying to seek a mentor, be persistent, ask questions, don't respectfully take no for an answer, but don't tell yourself no. Let them tell you no. And then being a good mentee, hit the person up, like consistent, you know what I mean? Like, and don't be sitting there like, oh, I want to go out to get lunch, like for no reason, like,
like, make your question.
Be prepared. Yes.
And so you spoke to being like an AKA. So how has that also helped you in your journey to where you are today? Because a lot of people say that also, why did you join? Let's start there. Why did you join?
Yeah, so I joined a sorority. If I'm being honest, I was in undergrad and I felt like I was in undergrad. And I ran track. So I felt like I had my set picked for me.
Yeah.
I saw the AKs on campus and I saw the AKs that had graduated. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I really like what these people stand for. They're successful. There were a lot of like Nigerians. So like, but my chapter was popping. Like, and no shades to the non-Nigerians. Like, but what I was looking for, like, oh my God, these are the people I want to be. Like, dentists, lawyers, doctors. It's like, oh my God, y'all are so popping. Keep in mind, I'm like 19. These people are in their mid-20s. So I'm like, oh my God, y'all are the best thing since like water. So, I felt like doing that or making that decision, that was my set that I could pick. Kind of aligning yourself with the people I wanted to be around. And you're going to have to do that throughout your life. That it doesn't just stop with just picking a sorority. Impact that has played on me. I made some really valuable relationships. And that, lots of service, it's the relationship building, really. That's,
Yeah.
I think, the biggest thing I've gained.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
Because people do join sororities and fraternities for the wrong reasons, but here...
Well, I was a person before I joined my sorority, and I'm still the same person.
Right.
Yeah, so that's that.
That's good. I'm glad that you're able to take a lot away from it. And so it's something that you would recommend to people in uni, like join a sorority.
Yeah, but just make sure that you're joining for the right reasons. Like if you, and also I think one mistake I made, I didn't have people to guide me through the process. I didn't have like a family member or anything like that. I was doing too much. Looking back, I was doing too much. Just be genuine.
Right.
Like, be honest. I felt like, oh my God, I have to act like this. It's like, no. Like,
just be yourself.
Be yourself.
Right.
Like, I was, and keep in mind, I'm 19, 20 at the time. Like,
it's so cute, like the way you talk about, past self.
I know.
I know. Because it's almost as though you're talking about your little sister or something.
Yeah, oh my God, definitely like that. My early 20s, late teens, like definitely the annoying little sister. Definitely. Very annoying.
No, I love it. And then there's the humility in that, being able to see your past self and be like, "Aw, bless you," right? Yeah. Bless you, and now you're sharing with people where you would have, done things a little bit different.
Yeah. I wish I was a little bit more genuine in like the presentation. Because it's like, I just felt like I was so uptight and I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, and it's like, just be yourself. Like, just be yourself. Be respectful, but be yourself. Like, that's the tenet of the organization.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, now, so you go through grad, right?
Yeah.
And now you're getting ready to take the exam again.
Yeah.
So, what were some challenges that you faced this time around? Because, obviously you said the first time didn't go the way you wanted to.
The second time didn't go the way either. Okay. And I took it the third time. So, I was never that great of a test taker. Mm-hmm. So, I knew that was going to be a really big challenge for me. But that was the first time I've ever in my life sat down and studied for hours on end. Wow. I
do remember you being basically unreachable.
Yes. Hours on end, just sitting down, getting comfortable with doing that. And that was a muscle I had to learn to flex because you have to do that in law school. Right. So, thankful for the challenge. Again, the pivot, seeing the glass half full as opposed to half empty. Mm-hmm. Very important. But
optimism.
Yes. Yeah. So I was just very receptive of the challenge that was coming my way. Like I didn't like studying for a long time. I never really did it. I was never that type of student. I was just like a finesse your way. Yeah.
That's
last
minute.
Right. So but you can't do that and you want to be successful. Like you can be average doing that, but you can't be successful.
Especially in this space that you now have found yourself.
Well, in any space, really. You can't half-ass. If you want to be the best of the best, you cannot half-ass. It's going to catch up to you. Right. And that's what it was doing to me. So I had to really cut my losses at that point in my life and be like, okay, do you want to be successful or do you want to have the same results. Mediocre results.
And that's the thing, right? Like insanity, what do they call it? Is doing the same thing and expecting a different result, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I got comfortable with that, and it was great. It yielded great results. I got a really, really much. It wasn't that high of a score. It wasn't a high score at all. I was never a good test taker, but it was much higher than what I had done, and I think that was enough to show the admissions committee that hey,
serious,
this jump doesn't happen so much on this exam, let's give her a chance.
I love that. And that you kind of felt like God was opening a door for you. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And so now, your wife, your mommy.
Yeah.
How does that feel? Because you really have it all, right? Everything I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. No. But all the Yoruba babes and, just people in general, this is what they're looking for.
Yeah. It's an African mom's,
dream. You are an attorney. Yeah. You're a wife and you're a mom and you seem to be doing it so effortlessly, right? It seems like you got the balance down. But of course, as everybody knows, social media is just highlights, right? And when you know people, you understand that, okay, there is difficulty that comes with X, Y, and Z. But I can persevere and it'll be fine. This is normal. Yeah. And so I guess kind of talk me through how you balance and figured out what works for you guys in your unit.
Yeah, so I think I'm an extremely endearing person. For context, I took my baby to school and I didn't want to pay for daycare. I thought it was ludicrous. I didn't think I needed to. And like I wasn't working, but we could have made it work. But I just was like, why will I be suffering to put my child in daycare when I can just take her? And I, you know, of course, manipulated my schedule to ensure that I wasn't going to school too many times. But like when I always had a friend that was willing to watch her. So, and I call these women friends because I don't trust my child like
with
anybody. Exactly. Yeah. So, and you know, I poured into those relationships and they poured back to me in that way. Yeah. So that was one way that, you know, I maneuvered through that. So then another way, my mom, my sister, that's just my entire family. Yeah. Really, really, really helpful. Like my mom at one point, she was coming from one state to here and saying like, hey, if you need me for the weekend, like she did that like 3 or 4 times. Of course, I didn't want to do that, like abuse that, but that's nice. Like and she's a full-time working mom, her first child, not her last child. So, and she's not retired. Yeah. She got a remote job when she found out I was pregnant. Like, you know, like just that dedication. And I know that I'm going to have that, you know, going in the rest of my career. I'm trying not to lean on it as much because I'm getting older and like she's getting older and things like that. And being respectful of her time. But just having that is really, it makes it a lot easier. And then I just got used to just doing shit myself, like doing the extra stuff myself. Like,
and figuring it out.
Yeah. And then also, like, Bangkok was very helpful. Like, I didn't miss sleep when I first had my daughter. Like, he missed sleep. So that was good.
People talk about your snapback all the time. You know that, right? Like, it's like you popped the baby out, and I was like, wait, you were pregnant?
Yeah. I'll have to give you a picture, because I just posted one yesterday.
No, because we're going to add it to this. Like, so were you working out while you were pregnant?
No.
So what did pregnancy look like for you? Because I think you're pregnant during the pandemic.
Yeah, right? So it wasn't a very happy time for me because I was stuck. Yeah. I couldn't go out. I wanted to also protect my baby, so it wasn't the nicest
your
time.
baby shower was beautiful, though. It was
nice. I don't have the happiest memories from that day, but...
I know you said you were stressed that day. Was it your makeup or your hair?
It was my makeup and some other external factors. Yeah.
But it was beautiful, and it looked good, and you didn't look like anything was wrong, so we thank God.
Thanks.
And now baby is here. Yeah. How old is she?
She's turning 2 in a couple
I'm asking these questions like I don't know her.
I know. No. She's turning 2 in a couple days, so, yeah.
And what's your favorite thing about being her mom?
Oh, her energy is so contagious. I should have like a mini me following me. Like, she literally loves me so much that she wants to be around me at all times.
Oh my God.
It sounds selfish, but like, it's so cute. Like, I have a little fan. Like,
she adores me.
Like, literally. Like, I can do no wrong for that child. Like, oh my God. So, but of course I have to know that I can't abuse that. But I can just tell that she admires me. And I don't take that lightly. Like, I drop everything for her, you know? So... yeah.
What are some challenges that you feel like you face, like, with motherhood and, like, trying to teach? Because obviously, like, I feel like for kids, or for us rather, you know, being Yoruba and being in the States, we are somewhat removed from our culture. Yeah. Right? So, like, how do you implement that into your household and making sure that she knows, like, okay, you're not just...
Well, her first name is not English, so, neither is mine, neither is Banga's. Yeah. So her first name... I try to speak Yoruba to her. Unfortunately, Uncle Benga does not speak Yoruba, so... but
that's straight to you. You need to learn Yoruba, Benga. Put on some movies or something.
So I will say he now has... he has now shown interest in it, but because I dealt with years of rejection from him when I tried to put him onto it, I'm now like, oh, it's okay. Like, I don't really... I know how... No, but that's how, and I actually resonate because I grew up speaking Yoruba. Yeah, same. So, but other people who, and I was always that kid that parents compared their kids to. Yeah. And I would talk to my peers and I'm like, oh, like, why don't you speak it? And they're like, oh, somebody made fun of me.
I think that was another thing that you and I did, to be honest. Yeah.
But they would be like, oh, somebody made fun of me, or they make fun of how I speak it. And so I'm like, oh, this is the rejection that these first gen peers were talking about when, you know, so now it's just like, I don't think I will, like, he doesn't pursue me, like, speaking Yoruba around him too often as much, but now I'm just like, okay, that's
but of course he understands it.
No, he does not really understand it like that. Yeah, so he understands a little bit, but not, like, I can't speak, like, a conversation. Yeah, like, if I was speaking to somebody else, he would get lost. Oh, wow. Yeah, so, but I do plan on speaking to Faye Kemi, like, Yoruba.
Do you guys just hear that name?
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. How did you decide on that?
Her father picked it.
Oh wow! So the one I was not speaking about.
Well, it's
such a strong, nice
no.
name.
So I'm not gonna take the credit away from him. Not me, but it was my old roommates. Again, I told you, me and Benga, we was like this, right? So his roommate was my roommate. My roommate was his roommate.
Right. But sharing everything at the same.
So my roommate went to brunch with her, and that's her little sister's middle name. And so we were like, oh my god, that's so cute, like, oh my god. So that's how
that is a beautiful name.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful name.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be speaking Yoruba to her and really making sure that she gets. So do you ever think that you would have her go to school in Nigeria?
No.
Why?
I'm not leaving my child in Nigeria.
No, not to leave her though. Like
unless I'm there, like, no.
And you would never see yourself living there?
I don't know. I'm open to it, yeah, but I don't think my husband that doesn't speak Yoruba would want to live in Nigeria.
But not everybody in Nigeria speaks Yoruba. Realistically, even people in Nigeria, there are a lot of them that don't speak Yoruba. Like, I go there and I'm like thinking, oh, of course you get it, but yeah, they don't. And I'm just like, you live here. Yeah. What do you speak? You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm shading you, actually. Feel the shade of, you speak American English, but you can't speak your own language. That's wrong, but yeah. Okay. I guess to kind of now round it all up, right?
Okay.
We've gotten here. We've talked through your trials and tribulations a bit, talked through your big wins. I'm so proud of you. What do you see for yourself in the next 5 years?
I work a very good job. I don't plan on leaving, God willing. Maybe open a couple of businesses.
I think that's beautiful.
You know, or something. I don't know. Just things I can do with Benga. Again, like, we've been like this, so I always,
just thinking about
this. So he likes photography. Like, I like organizing things. So, like, I think I'm really good at that. So maybe taking his photography business a little more seriously. But really kind of chilling, having more children.
How many more?
So I want 3 more children, but, we don't know.
See what happens.
Yeah,
right?
We'll see. But really
just
chilling. Oh, in terms of what?
Gender?
No, I just want 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no. I have my girl. If I had all girls, I'd be like, it would be Benga and the Bengats, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
You thought about that one.
Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I thought about it. If I have one son, I was like, am I gonna be like that overbearing mom? And I'm just like, I can't be. Like, I really can't. Like, I just can't. But I don't know. Or is she gonna just have old brothers? I really don't know. So I can't say.
But right now, you just know that where you are, you're very, very happy.
Oh yeah, just chilling. I'm trying to really, this year in particular, just chill. Like, I've been on go since and it's like really, really quickly attaining things. Great, but it's like, okay, I need to like actually sit down and bask in my successes. I think I underrate the feats that I've accomplished. And so I'm really, really, really trying to just soak it in. Slow down. Like, okay, you finally gotten to where it's like, okay, you finish school, get married, have a child. Like, okay, what else? Like, it's like,
but we have our wedding goal.
Yeah,
we have our wedding coming up. How's planning going?
Planning is hard. Because, again, I told you, so eventually one day I want to open like an events business or something like that. So I'm trying to use this to get my experience, and you know the type of person I am. Like, it's,
attention to detail.
Yes. And so it's stressful because I work a very demanding job. I work in big law. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. You'll find out. But no, like, working in big law and then like planning your wedding, and it's like, I didn't have a wedding planner. I was about to
I'm just trying to understand how you're even able to like even as you're saying, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like, my brain, I'm trying to tell you, there's so many things that, like, it's like my brain is in 5 places at once. Like,
so would you say you're organized then?
I am extremely organized. If I showed you my notes app, you'd be like, oh wow, I didn't know I could do all that. So
I could tell, because other people don't even ask me to send them like
a calendar invite
for this,
right?
Girl,
I need to block it out.
Like, and you're like, okay, can you send me? And I'm like, this one, she's proper, she has things set out.
So I know where I'm at a particular time. But I couldn't miss this, so I'm
just so happy you're here. Honestly, I feel
I'm shocked that I'm here myself.
Why?
I mean, When you told me. But see, I've been trying to chill and not do things, but I'm also trying to not learn, but show up for my friends. Because I think in the last like 3 years, my friends have really shown up for me. And so I'm always trying to show up for my friends. I think I was showing up for my friends before, but like now I prioritize that. Yes. And so like, I just got back from work.
I'm tired, but you still drove off because you live close to where you work.
Yes.
So this is like a stretch.
Yeah, it was like 45 minutes. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna still do it.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, no problem. But it's just a challenge to me. Yeah. And that's just the type of person I am.
Yeah.
Like, if I want something and I'm trying to build a habit, like I am very diligent, diligent with it. Yeah, like
it's so crazy that you mentioned the thing about showing up for your friends, because I know for me, I came into, everybody does their little resolutions. I do like a vision board, right?
Nice.
Of what it is that I want this year to look like, and I look at the vision board at the end of the year, and I'm like, okay, we check a lot of these off.
Nice.
And I do pray that that's going to be the same for this year,
Amen.
Inshallah. But I do the same, right? And I'm doing this right now, coming into the year saying I want to be intentional about my sisterhood. Right? I've done the relationship thing and I love it. Cool. I know how to be a girlfriend, like whatever.
Yeah.
But to be a really good friend, you have to be extremely intentional, because I think it's natural for us to pour into romantic relationships so much and just.
Yeah.
But for friendship, that's my friend. They know. No. And it's like, no,
I don't take my friends like that.
And that's why I've been a lot more intentional about it this year. I think that for all of my friends, I do know that I show up for my friends. When they need me, I'm there. No problem. But just like now getting more into the habit of calling, setting up dates, spending time together.
I'm good for FaceTime. My friends know that. Sometimes they don't think about FaceTime calls. It's like, okay. But I think now it's like, oh, we're all adults working. I don't do FaceTime as much, but it's just like.
I'm definitely a FaceTimer. I hate regular call. Like, I always FaceTime and I just want to chat. Like,
girl, I used to do that, but now I'm like, damn, I'm working. Right? Like,
you have a baby?
Yeah, like, it's like, I can't FaceTime. Now we big on the voice notes. And then Apple talking about, oh, yeah, like, you can now transcribe voice notes. I'm like, oh.
I love that. Have you seen the feature on Apple? Like when you're on FaceTime, there's like a beta feature that they have where you can transcribe the FaceTime.
Oh, no.
You guys haven't
seen it? Is it on
that?
your phone?
Yes.
Oh, wow, how fancy. No.
It's still in beta, so it's not like the
that
most accurate, but it's cool. I was like, for people that are like, fair. But for people that are deaf, I was like, that is such a cool feature. Oh, yeah. Because it's like, oh my God, they can be on FaceTime with someone and actually like be reading what they're saying.
So considerate. I did not think about that.
I was thinking about when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, look at Apple. Yeah. I see y'all.
That's very fancy. That's very,
No, but I am so happy I got to have you here today and kind of pick your brain a bit, because we all want the blueprint, figure out how we did it.
I can't say that there is a blueprint. Like, everybody's path is different. I knew that I wanted to be married with children, but I did not want to sacrifice my career. Like, I've always been really strong-willed, and I knew that I didn't want to compromise on that. And are there some days that are really, really hard? Yes.
Of course.
But I know after every week, I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful. Like, I'm here, and I have my tribe, my family, like, they're my tribe. I like the fact that I come home to a beautiful home, like with my child and my man. Like, it's great. Like, it's like
the full package.
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, it feels good.
I was just like, I'm a grown woman. I got together. Like, okay,
but no, like, it feels good, and it's like this is what I've always wanted. Like, I feel like I've done a lot to please my parents, and I've never really been a parent pleaser, but. Going to school, like, nobody wants to just go to school. Like, you go to school because you tell them. So I've dedicated a better of half of my life, or a little bit over, like, or a little under half of my life to pleasing them. But this is something that I wanted. Like, this is something I like. Like, I always just envisioned, like, okay, when I'm in my 20s, I'm going to have a child. I'm going to have a family. I'm going to have a man. Like,
And that was something that you were like, this is going to happen. Like, this is what I want to happen. Yeah. So you feel like you were very much affirming of that.
Yeah. Like, so, like, I dated a little bit in college, but after a while, I was like, okay, like, I just want to be with one person
and settle down.
Yeah. So, and then I met one guy.
And you would say that was just a very intentional thing as well, like on both parts. So how was that conversation? All that. I
don't think he was looking for that.
Okay.
But I think it's just on you to let people know who want to be in your space what the criteria is to be in your space, and if they want to remain in your space, then they will meet the criteria.
Fair.
So yeah.
Okay, so then give the viewers 5 things that you would that you would want them to kind of lead their life by, like things that you lead your life by that help you stay in a straight line, help you get through the day, what have you, any moment. What are those 5 things that like kind of consistently help with the foundation of who Seun is and how she is always put together and how she kind of gets through her day and stuff like that?
Remaining calm.
Okay.
Like however you do it, if that's you praying, like meditating, breathing exercises, being organized, following through. If you say you're going to do something, do it.
That's that respect for yourself.
Yes.
Right. That's that respect
because people can't play with you if, you know.
She was here on time.
I was 15 minutes. Yeah, I was 15 minutes.
But you were still on time. Like, we said 7:30 on the phone, if you remember.
We
said 7:30 on the phone.
So I had 7
Because remember, she literally told me, okay, we're doing 7:30, but put 7 on my calendar.
Right.
That's what you told me.
Okay, yes. Because I had to budget driving and I had to put it on my work calendar. Yeah. Okay, so I thought I was late.
No.
So I actually set an alarm to leave the house, but I was in my work clothes, and I was like, I don't know if I want to be in my work clothes. I think I want to be more chill. Anyways, so yeah. Do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
I said be organized. Be intentional about the people who you let in your space.
Yeah. I think that's a big takeaway.
Yeah, just be if they are not serving you, get rid of them. Like, don't, and they don't have to be serving you such that you're using them.
Yeah.
But, like, if they're not bringing happiness to you, peace, like, there's no reason for them to be there. And if you have a criteria where you require this person to follow in order to be in your life, don't compromise on it. You will be crying. You'll be upset. If
you're the one that's going to be suffering in the end.
Yes, your boundaries serve as a fortress to protect you.
Oh my God, that's such a good line.
They do. Yeah, like it took me, it didn't really take me that long to learn that, but I think generally it just takes, when I listen to my friends and just like people in general, like that's a really important thing that people take too long to learn. And it's like, if you learn it quickly, you accomplish your goals a lot faster. I
definitely agree. I think that naturally, like, I am a people pleaser. I'm firstborn. Everything I do is like my parents, my siblings, my family. I just want to make sure everybody's good. Like, I'm naturally a people pleaser.
You're only one person.
Literally, I am only one person. And it took a moment. I think this was last year. I hit my breaking point, and I was like, okay, I'm in my selfish era. Which, honestly, it wasn't like an overnight thing.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
And leaning into that era because it's difficult. It is not easy. It's not easy to break away from that habit. But I will say, the more I show up for myself and I choose myself first, the better the outcome of my life and the trajectory of my life is seeming, right? Because I'm like, oh my God, like, it's just about me.
Yeah.
It is literally just about me right now, and I need to figure that out.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good tip.
And number 5, I guess,
just stay true to yourself.
I was literally just
it's the Leo telepathy.
I literally just think, I was like, I don't want to say that, it's very cliche.
No, but it's a fact.
That's what it is. Oh my God, you took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, and I will take that as number 5. Stay true to yourself, because, again, if it's not serving you, it's a burden to you.
If it's not serving you, it's a burden to you.
I don't even know. I don't even know where I got
actually,
that from.
It's like,
I swear to God, I did not, like, I don't know where I got that from. I do not know where I got that from. But, like, seriously, like, if it's not serving you, it is 100% a burden to you. And again, for all the users out there, don't sit there and be mismatching what I just said. Don't be using everybody.
Literally.
No. But if it's not going to be a mutualistic relationship, if it's not pouring into you, if it's not uplifting you, if it's not healing you, it does not need to be around you. It being a person, place, thing, stay away. Like, just dead it. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think those are such good points. And I told you guys, I'm going to tell you, I'm bringing on people that help shape your life in the better
That's my
way.
facial regimen. Oh, yeah, I always set alarms, guys.
Bro, you know I actually hate alarms.
Why?
Because I
hate them too, but I hear it and it's like, oh,
it gives me
okay,
anxiety.
let me just...
I'm very time conscious.
Okay.
So it's like, I don't need an alarm.
I'm not.
I don't, like, when I go to bed, I know I have to wake up at a certain time. My body will literally wake up at that time.
My body does that.
Every single time.
But ever since I had a baby, I don't keep my phone around me anymore. I, like...
Fair.
She's always touching it. Excuse me. She's always touching it. She's always, like... I'm taking care of her. I'm tending to her. So I'm not one to be on my phone too much around her. So I need it so that I can
that's
find
actually
it.
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and then
because I like what? That's not my kid, right?
Yeah,
but like I always have her.
Yeah.
And so I notice when she's around, my screen time, because sometimes she stays here for like 3 days, sometimes she stays here for a week. My screen time is so low that week that she's here because I'm tending to her all that.
Yeah. So you forget you have a phone.
Literally. Yeah. But anyways, I was wrapping up. You guys, if you allow us, if I'm not thinking about how long I want this episode to be, we would be here for a long time just chit-chatting away.
Yeah.
But
I think we covered it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we're able to hit like all the points that I really wanted to hit, and I hope you guys are able to take a lot of good, points and advice away from this. I know Seun is open to being a mentor, and she's always answering questions, and her Instagram is always sharing good information. So
yes.
I would urge you guys, go ahead and follow her, DM her, ask her questions.
Seriously.
And
like, don't be shy. Like, I just told you, I just gave you out the keys.
Sisterhood is not anything new to her. Like, she just told you she was AKA, or she is AKA.
Yeah.
So, like, this is something that comes naturally to her. I want to continue to bring people that are influential, inspirational to you guys, so that you can actually take something away from my channel. It's not just fashion, it's not just beauty, there's things up here, right? And we use those things so we can get to where we want to get to. So I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Thank you guys so much for staying with us, and hope to see you in the next one. I love you so much.
Bye.
Bye.